Well, good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel, Man Meets Metal by Randy, or Sharpening by Randy. How are you doing today? Today, we're going to do the first part of a couple series of sharpening portable sawmill bandsaw blades. Now, the first machine I'm going to show you will be the machine that have come to make, and a couple people have helped me out and enlightened me, and I've been watching their videos. One would be a Mr. Roberts from It's Never a Dull Moment, and the other person would be Thomas O'Brien from TC Sawmills. You can watch them both on YouTube. They both got their nice channels. But these guys gave me an idea on a machine for cleaning the bandsaw blades. What Mr. Roberts would do would take an electric motor, put a wire brush on it with a board underneath, and do one side of the blade. Then he would invert it and do the other side. I've come up with an idea of putting opposing wire brushes, and I'll show you that in here in a second. And then Mr. Roberts and I just come up with this third idea about making a crimper to bring the set out of the saw blade. Now, when I talk to set, I'm talking when the saw blade, if you look at a normal saw blade, for you guys that don't understand, is it'll have, your saw teeth will be like this. And sometimes with the sawmill, they hit a hard spot or they'll hit a nail or something, and your set will be out of wampus, really bad. So what this crimper will do, it'll bring the set back to neutral. So when I go to set the blade, I can set the blades correctly to the right angle. What I have to do right now is, as I'm setting, if I hit a tooth that's way out of whack, I have to physically by hand pull it back and reset it. So hopefully what I have come up with here, and I'll show you here in a second, will take care of a lot of these problems. Now here is my machine that I made. I took a half-horse electric motor and I put it on a metal plate. Actually, you can see I used some half-inch steel. And then what I did, here, let me get a better angle here. I got a belt drive, and then I went to a friction drive here. I glued on some belting there onto these shivs. So what that does, that makes this bottom pulley go one direction, and the top pulley will go like this. So it's opposing. Then I put it on some jack shafts to my wire brush. And then I put my blade in here to clean it. Now what I've done, and I had a little tidbit before, but now I'll go involved in what I've done here. I've got 2 roller bearings and 2 roller bearings. So what I do is I'll take this off here, set my saw blade down, pull this down, then I got a tie bar that I bolt on the top here. And I just turn this down until she's nice and snug. And then what I'll do, and I'll run the machine here with a blade, and I'll show you. I'll tighten this down and then pull it through. And what that does, like I say, that takes a set out of the blade, plus it cleans. So I'm doing a 2-for-1 offer. Now I'll show you, I'll put a blade in, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. I also, just a little trivial information is, I got it on a foot switch. So as I'm doing it, I got my foot on the switch. So if I do have a problem, I just move the switch, and that shuts everything off. A little safety. Now here's a saw blade. Now if you look close, it's kind of rusty. It's kind of rusty. And like I say, what I will do now is, work with me here, is I will put this in my machine. So I always wear gloves. So what I do is I take this bolt out, got these 2 bearings. I lay this in here. Now, one thing I do is I definitely turn them so the teeth are away from me. I put this back in. No big deal. Thread my nut on. This is just hand tight. And I'm going to work on this crimper a little better, make it a little more user friendly. But this is just a preliminary idea of what I'm thinking. I put my tie bar on. Put my nuts on. Okay, got my nuts on. And like I said, I got to come up with a little faster idea. But right now, it's kind of what I'm thinking. So now I put my gloves on. You can see it's crimped in there and through there. So what I do is I grab a hold, put my foot on the switch, and turn it on. And then kind of work it back and forth. And just that fast, I'm all the way around. Now I'm going to crimp it up a little more because this set is still pretty bad. So I'll crimp it up a little bit more. And I might have to do it a couple, 3 times just to pull that set out. But at least now, when I go to reset it, I'm not spending a lot of time on pulling each tooth. So I'm going to do it again. Put my grab a hold. And like that. And now the set is pulled out to a point, but at least I can work with it. At least Now I can work with it. Otherwise, you're like I say, your set being so far off. Now I can work with it. So that's just a little thing about this machine is I'm still working with it, trying to make my idea better, and it will get there. But we can all come up with great ideas. We can all manufacture stuff. We just got to put our mind to it and take our time and do a nice, neat job. So this is the first step in cleaning saw blades. I'll make another video on setting the saw blades, and then a third video on sharpening the saw blades. So again, I would like to thank everybody. I would like to thank everybody for liking, subscribing, and paying attention to what I do and giving me thumbs up. Every little bit helps, lets me know what I'm doing. Appreciate your time. You have a good day.